What up, y'all? It's your boy, the Hood Nerd, back again. I've been on a hell of a break, haven't I? I'm definitely gonna get more active again, but work, podcast, life, you know how I go. But let's talk about the situation with Deelishis and her husband, Raymond Santana, real quick. And why a marriage like this is doomed to fail from the get go. Because a dude like this is batting out of his league. He don't belong in this game. Now, Raymond Santana was part of Central Park 5. I think he did maybe like 5-6 years. Probably was out of jail mid to late 90s, I think. They was exonerated in the early 2000s. But you gotta think this is a normal dude. This is a normal dude. She would have never thought twice about talking to a dude like this. Till what? Till the settlement came. Once the settlement came, then comes what? So you already know where she from. You know it from Flavor of Love. From Flavor of Love, she flipped that into a whole lot of social media success. And she just kind of been in and out of the spotlight, dating rappers, ball players, all of that. But so you get a guy like Raymond Santana. He ain't got a clue what's going on. And so you listen to a lot of these cats in this high value man, I can provide this. This is head of the household. As long as I come to the table with all of these things, I'm good. And I'm gonna give y'all a quick lesson real quick. Okay, how much money you make, it's not gonna make a woman stay. It's not gonna keep a marriage from falling apart. It ain't gonna even make her oversee your flaws at the end of the day. Because when we get to her, what does she say? I married a narcissist who was a complete liar and a cheat. And I'm finally ready to speak my truth. Now, right there is what a problem is, because it's what? My truth. She didn't say the truth. She said my truth. So a lot of this now is getting ready to be he said, she said. Did he cheat? Pretty sure he did. You can see how dude maneuvers. Socially awkward. So you put $8 million in a guy like this hand, which we'll take a quick look at some of the YouTube videos they did from Instagram Live. But you put $8 million in a guy like this hands, and what do you get? You get a guy now with access to all the vagina he would have never been able to have access to. He's going to go crazy. This is a kid in a candy store now. Now you're going to get women say, well, why can't he be mature? No different than you women who go get the BBLs and all the weight loss surgeries. And now you what? Now you jump a letter or two in the game. Now you go from a 4 to a 6. And now because you're a 6, you got guys who 7s and 8s looking at you. So now the 3s and 4s and the 5s you've been getting looked at, you always wanted the 6 and the 7s and 8s looking at you. Now you got their attention. So guess what those women do? Pum. I'm a new me. I'm going to blow the whole spot up at the crib. I'm enjoying this new attention. I want to see what this feel like. But see, for a guy like Raymond Santana, let's just say he's a narcissist. She's known that. But at this point, either the money's run dry, it's possible. It is possible. With the way they talk about how they spend money, it's possible $8 million is gone now. It's 3 years. It don't really take that long to spend $8 million. But it's also possible what? She's also talked about he's terrible in the bedroom. Now, she won't come out and really say it, but she always say, hey, no foreplay, no passion. That's just a woman's way of saying, yo, he don't do it for me. He can't get me to the end of the game. He can't get me to home plate. But for you dudes out here, what I'm gonna show you is, let me pull the other screen up in this other video. I'm gonna show you first at her showing you he's a mark. Take a listen.
Cameras was rolling and the drinks was rolling, baby. So, and we hadn't gotten out the house.
Yeah.
Like when they called or whatever, I'm like, when do we leave?
Yeah.
We ready. Let's go.
That's a good thing.
Easy gifts.
I like that my husband is just for the record, we share in the bills. And that's manage your business. Manage your business. You do what's good for your home, we're gonna do what's good for our.
We sharing the bills. That's code for he take care of everything. But he understands that already. I would never be able to be with her without taking care of all of that. See, unfortunately, for a lot of the lames, they don't understand. You didn't choose her. She chose you. That's how this game go. You would never get access to her unless you could come to the table with this. You would never be able to sit down at the table with a woman like that. Not in your wildest years, your wildest dreams would she ever sit down and entertain you. That's why I'm saying you guys got to stop batting out of your league, man. Y'all trying to go play with the CBA and the overseas ball players. You're a rec league player, man. You don't need to be playing with the cats at 6, 7 o'clock at night. Understand what your skill set is. Understand a plain Jane is where I'm supposed to be at. See, he could have found the plain Jane. She would have been very happy with what was going on with him. And they could have kept it going. In fact, he really could have went back and found the woman who was there in the beginning, who he would know, boom, she gonna be there, she gonna be down. But see, that's what also lets you know what type of guy he is. There was no love interest he could go back to, which made him an easy marking sucker for her to come swoop dead in and take him for the ride of his life.
That's right.
So yes, we do share in the finances and taking care of the business. But my
now notice she just said, yes, we do share. But take a listen.
husband, for the most part, is the one who will say, send me the bill. But in turn, that means that I don't want to have to do anything. So just send me
Somebody
the
said
bill.
he just gives money. Yeah.
Yes. He's like, I said, babe, we got to plan a such and such.
Or if the kids got something specific they want, like a laptop or a new phone, then yeah, that's me. I'll get that.
Yeah.
This is the party planner right here. So when you see those big celebrations we have and they look extravagant, it all comes from this beautiful mind right here. Not from me.
You.
I just be like, I'm simple. I'll throw a party in the cardboard box if you let me. So the planning all comes from this.
Now, look at all the work that's been done. This is a woman who's now, 42, 43 years old. That ain't how Deelishis' face looks anymore. That ain't even how this picture video you looking at is last April. That's major work done to then. She ain't even recognizable now because it's constantly more and more work being done for her to do what? Make sure she can stay out here in the game and keep playing with other cats. So, she ain't gonna have no problem. Somebody else gonna want to lay inside of that for a little while. But he just told you. And she just told you, no, it's we. Well, basically, I just send him the bills and he just pay for it. So see, that ain't a we. That's not a we. That's a sucker at the end of the day. That's somebody. This is a prostitution marriage. That's what I'm going to start calling them. This is a prostitution marriage. He's paying for this. He's paying for live-in vagina. He rented it out. And his lease is up, I guess. I guess she wasn't really willing to renew the lease with him this time around. So, party's over for him. But let's finish listening.
This one right here, though.
Yes. But he's helpful. He's learning. Yeah, he's learning. He's learning because that's the part of romance, passion, and foreplay.
Yeah.
Like for us, romance is, honey, I washed the dishes. I'll be like, ooh. Foreplay is, honey, I picked up the laundry. Oh my God, that felt good. And the most sexiest thing he can ever say to me, honey, I'm cooking dinner.
She ain't said nothing that he does great sexually. You know why? Because he can't satisfy her in the bedroom. Too many Johnsons have been in that hot dog bun at this point. Just way too many Franks. Sorry. That party is over. She talking about cooking and cleaning. That's what's turning her on at this point. And I'm gonna tell you the BS. When you even stare at the look at where I got this paused at. And let me go to the next video. When you see where I got that paused at, that's him just understanding what she's saying. This is what turns me on. Nothing you can do sexually gets me to that point. Nothing. She ain't talking about kissing, cuddling, hugging, any of those things. She ain't saying, hey, yo, the way he caressed me right here, the way he grab on me, the way he feel on me, these moves, any of those things. Not at all. You know why? Because she's still thinking about, I wouldn't be surprised if she's smashing her ex-husband. She was married to, what was it, like a decade ago, the Orlando dude. The dude she was saying all the chicks was in his inbox all the time. I would not be surprised if she was still smashing dude. Which is the way a lot of these games are played out. These women will marry you so that they can become financially secure. But Boo Man or Bobo, he's still knocking that thing out the box. You just have to accept that. Now, for Raymond, you know, a cat like that, that's a sucker, man. You almost feel sorry for him because you know you ain't see it coming. And he wasn't ready for any of this either. That's the biggest issue I probably have with it. Is he wasn't ready for it. When he got the settlement money, he should have went and just played the field for a little bit. But I want you to hear what they talk about right here. Because then that fast forwards us what? Not even 2 years later. But this is what happened when we have shotgun weddings. This is what happened when we rush into relationships. This is what happened when you allow women and a lot of these older men to come to you and say, hey, when you know immediately. No, you don't. That's bullshit. A woman will always send her representative to see you for the first year or two of a relationship. After year two, you'll start to see certain cracks in her foundation at that point. But only after you've been in 2-3 years. You can marry a woman's representative if you marry her in the first year or two of a relationship. It's only a few years later you start saying, yeah, she don't really cook too much. She don't really clean too much. You know, her breath don't really smell too hot sometimes when she wake up in the morning. Like, it's easy for her to cook and clean, you know, that first year or two. It's kind of like when you get a new job. For that first year or two, your attendance is good. You're feeling great. After a year and a half, though, what? Start calling off, start slacking, because you feel comfortable. And then you'll get into who you really are. But let's get to this next video before we close this out.
Right. I met Raymond. My husband. Well, speaking of happiness, my husband.
Yes, this is what I'm talking about, y'all.
And you see how excited she is and why she's that excited. $8.5 million just walked into the crib. We getting ready to party. I'm getting ready to be able to hang with Candy and all of the other celebrities in Atlanta now. I'm getting ready to go to all of the parties now. Because that's also what they talked about was, yo, she throwing all of these extravagant parties and galas we have. She do all of that. I just pay for it. So when he's seeing 30 grand here, 60 grand here, 100 grand here, it's not bothering him. Until when? 100 grand here, 300 grand here. Mansion that may be a meal, 2 mil. Few cars that add up to 800-900 grand, $1 million. You start looking up, it's only 2-3 million left. You understand the upkeep of that house? Let's set aside another $1 million for that, for the upkeep and property taxes for the next 20 years. That now leaves me with $2 million left now with this lifestyle I created. So now I either have to go work or I'm gonna have to pull back the reins. Once he starts to pull back the reins, guess what? Hey, Raymond, I'm out. I ain't signing up for this.
Hey, this is Amy.
Hey, Amy, how you doing?
Amy, this is Raymond. I'm good. How
Now, you see how happy they are? But at first, we less than 2 years later, and this is a narcissist, a liar and a cheater. And now she's finally ready to speak her truth.
How are you? And this is everybody on her live.
Oh, yeah, what's up, y'all?
I know. Raymond. So listen. So I talked to Dee about her prayer, right? Because Sierra had a good prayer, as we can see. But Dee got a real good prayer. Okay?
Now, this prayer they're talking about is Sierra saying she was praying for a husband. And this is how delusional people get. I prayed for a husband. God brought me Russell Wilson. God brought me this. No, the universe brought you these people. And y'all capitalized on the universe bringing you together. But you see right here, God brought her this. So then that means God brought you a narcissist, a liar, and a cheater. Ain't God good?
Okay, a real
Let her know.
good.
Let her know.
I told her. She knows. So I want to talk a little bit about your prayer. Because I was telling Dee that I was looking at her story one day and I seen you praying over her. And I was telling her how powerful that was because we don't see a lot of that. We don't see a lot of praying men. We don't see a lot of praying men praying over their wives. And
that's because men have left the church. Men have given up on the hustle and the bustle of what's going on in that black church. They understand what that is now. It's a strong pimp-hand going on in there, and they just not willing to invest their money into that anymore. And as we know, those preachers are doing what? They sleeping with our wives and our daughters and our mothers. Hell, they sleeping with our sons and our brothers.
And to me, when I saw that took my breath away. That was so powerful. So I want to talk about a little bit. I was telling you too that I know she prayed for you. And I know that you prayed for her. But I was telling her, I'm like, I think Raymond prayed a little bit more for you. I think he prayed a little bit more. But
Now, you want me to tell you why she said that? Because that's cold for her, telling Deelishis, girl, you know that nigga don't belong with you. Well, he Latino, so I ain't gonna really call him that. You know Raymond don't belong with you. You would never give him the time of day. God must have really been looking down on you for y'all two to meet up. But that also goes to Deelishis saying he friend zoned that first because he was busy working on the Netflix special. Do you understand? If a dude like this friend zones Deelishis and then she doubles back to get him, that it's all about the bag at that point. He don't have the swag. He doesn't carry himself to have a woman like that. And it ain't even looks wise what I'm saying, a woman like that. He doesn't have the personality or the swag to deal with a woman like that. That's a woman way out of his league, which is why we're here where we're at. Because if he had that swag, guess what he would have known already? That's just a shorty you smash, man. You don't marry a woman like that. You don't ever marry a woman like that. That's a woman you have a good 3-4 months with, and then you're going about your business.
Let's talk a little bit about your prayer. How specific were you with God when you said, God, I know you knew she was your wife.
And this is how women justify how they know you was the one. because God brought him to you. So since God anointed him and brought him directly to you, you got exactly what you deserve, right?
I know you knew that because it didn't take you 10 years.
No.
It didn't, you knew right away, you proposed fast. And for me, I'm like, God, I need you to send me a Raymond because I don't have 10 years. I don't have 10 years. I don't have it. I got 6 months, Lord. I don't have it either. I got 6 months, Jesus. I got 6 months.
And when he met me, he said, I'm not looking for nothing serious. I said, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, for real.
I can't even see that.
And now they're saying they don't have 10 years because they can't play the charade game for 10 years. I can't keep my representative in front of you for 10 years. I can do it 2, 3, maybe tops. Man makes a woman wait 4 or 5 years. It's a good chance that relationship is going to last. If you do it between a year or 2, it's a good chance it's probably going to end. And you're always going to hear the same things. She is not who she was when I first met her. And you know why? Because you never met her. You didn't meet her till y'all was already married.
Yeah.
Can't even see
You know,
that.
in the beginning, you know, first off for me, it starts off with prayer for myself because you know my story and through my years
Right.
of trials and tribulations and ups and downs, you know.
I'm going to check my brains. Can you talk to him for a minute?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I sure can.
Yeah, I can.
Don't take the breathe right.
Now, we're going to cut this off and end that right there because I'm not getting ready to listen to all this BS. And I got something else to tend to. But now she cooking. I got to go check my greens. You know what all that is? I'm going to play the perfect role for him right now. Dinner going to be cooked every night. House going to be clean. I'm going to screw his brains out until we sign the dotted line. Now, she's lived the life she wanted to live, but I can almost promise you money has started to get low. On top of that, what Raymond is finding out, now that he has access to that type of vagina because he has that type of money, is he's finding out what most men already know who have access to women who have options. You're going to get, I don't care, show me a man who has the finest woman in the world. And I show you a man who's tired of sleeping with her, who's bored. That's just it. Men don't want to put on the same shoes. You don't feel fresh putting on the same shoes every day of the week for a whole year. You just don't. I don't care how dope those Jordans look. I don't care how dope those Tims look. I don't care how dope those Balenciagas look. I don't care how dope the fit look. You don't feel fresh putting it on every day. It gets stale. It get old. And see, what he realized was what? Yo, this was cool. She played a cool role. The sex was cool for a minute. But then they got on other shows. He was, she putting on weight. She saying he put on weight. There's no real friendship there. But you don't know that because you only met her representative. She don't know that because he ain't authentic in the beginning. So now what do we get? We get a man now who's getting ready to be crucified in the media. Going to be called a womanizer, a cheater, verbally abusive, which is why she called him a narcissist, because there's probably no police record of him hitting her. So the next thing we can get is to say verbally abusive, which is code. But they'll say narcissist, that's code for verbally abusive. And that's the world we in. But shout out to you, Raymond. I mean, she made off like a fat rat now, dog, but you know, whatever you got left, you start over. And hopefully it go well for you. That's your boy, the Hood Nerd. I'm out.